I have one last round of questions for Kayla and a topic that I feel is near and dear to the hearts of toddler mothers, which
The
is,
feeding schedule.
yeah,
How
how
to
do they
feed a
eat?
human being that does not want to eat and then wants to eat everything and then wants all the things and then you buy all the things and then they decide not to want them for months. It's so confusing.
Welcome back and happy Tuesday, turkeys. How long have we known each other?
We've known each other for 2 decades.
I am not apologizing for who I am or what I like or the people that I love.
How do I be a wife? How do I be a mom? And how do I be myself and all of that? You didn't see that coming, did you?
Bing! Good morning.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday. Welcome back. We have something special locked and loaded for next week.
It's something's brewing. I like that. So stupid.
Actually, will you first set the stage and tell people how you weaned him and introduced him to foods? Because I think that might be unique.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'll first start off by saying that now that we have a second child who is 4 months old, probably closer to 5 months when this comes out.
That's great.
I know. I feel like this is the perfect time to process my feelings that I have officially stopped pumping.
Oh.
Because it is really hard to do that and work full time and feel like a human. And my boobs hurt so much. And it's sad to not even be able to pick up my children and lay them on my chest without them hurting. So I made it 5 weeks longer than last time. My goal was 6 months, but we have officially stopped like as of when he had 4 months. Like
this is so interesting. Literally, I had like a mental list of things to ask you about in our actual lives, and that was one of them.
Yeah. So anyway, just because we're talking about feeding, everyone's like fed is best, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like there's just a bunch of, again, going back to our other topic of mom guilt of it's just so hard however you do it. Because if you breastfeed forever, that's a lot of work. And then weaning them off is very difficult. It's very emotional. And then if you're just exclusively pumping, that's a whole other hardship in itself. And then if you're just doing formula, that's kind of hard too, because it's a pain in the butt in its own ways and it's more expensive. So it's like, whatever you're doing, I see you. And I just felt like this would be a perfect opportunity to give you an update on our first. So he's fully formula now, which I'm like, I know he'll be fine and it's all good. But like, I'm a little sad about it.
What was I going to say? My brain's not functioning on all cylinders. Oh, how
It's
are
okay.
you feeling? Because isn't it kind of like a hormone adjustment when you stop pumping? And do you have to like slowly stop?
Yes, because if you don't, like problems, like mastitis problems again, which honestly, yeah. So I got a phone call and I don't know what happened. Yeah, so we're not going to talk about breastfeeding too much today. But anyway, yes, my supply dropped. I'm feeling quite emotional, and I'm not sure if that's just like because of life or because my hormones have changed or because I may get my period back soon. Like, I'm really unsure. I'm like in this limbo time.
Because I know last time you hit the trifecta of going back to work and your period starting and stopping feeding,
but it's just so hard to like do all the things and be at work and try to pump enough to keep my supply up so that it just wasn't worth it and my boobs are hurting. So anyway, that's the one feeding saga on the younger one. But it's crazy because so he's 4 months and just a few months they can start eating at 6 months. There's others. Yeah, but they still are like primarily on milk, like breast milk or formula. But like I know with our oldest, we didn't start him right away at 6 months because there's like other signs to look out for. Like you want to make sure they're holding their head up and they like show a little bit of interest in it. So I think we started him at like 7.5 months. Like basically we did the baby led weaning. Yeah. I was like, why does that sound weird?
I feel like I remember you telling me this last time.
Yeah. So we did baby led weaning. Is that the right word?
I think so.
Anyway, it just sounds weird in my head. That's what we did with our first, and that's our plan to do with our second. And honestly, now that he's a toddler, the transition, even though it's scary because like I feel like they could choke on anything. It's so much easier just to like mash up some avocados and throw some mushed beans on a plate and call it a day. Because now it's like he eats pretty darn good, but there's sometimes it's just so picky, and some days we'll just have 5 bowls of yogurt, and the other day we'll have like some crackers and some oranges. And other days he's eating really good, but it's just like
Why
up in
is
the
it
air.
so weird? Is there a recommendation of a caloric intake or something? I mean, your first son is obviously not starving because he looks bigger than kids that are twice his age, just
Yeah.
height and mass. But what is well, most of my friends, I have a few who have kids who are older, but most of y'all have kids right around the same age. And I feel like most of you are experiencing the woes of my toddler doesn't want to eat. Like, what is that?
I don't know. I don't know if it's just because they're growing so fast. I don't know if it's because developmentally it's weird because the amount of energy you would think they would burn running around like
Yeah.
crazy people all day. But I do know they don't need as much protein as what we would need for as an adult.
Okay.
Um, they need more like carbs and fats.
Okay.
Um, developmentally, I think, because like just again, burning more calories and their brain is developing.
Yeah.
Not scientific, but that's what I've read. um, I don't understand how he goes all day with like a cup of milk, couple crackers, and then like maybe a couple bites of chicken at the end of the day. Some days are great. He'll eat
Yeah.
like chicken and yogurt and raspberries and a banana and steak and potatoes. And it's like, oh, we're good. We're doing good today. And then the next day it's like 3 oranges and some
Does he tell
crackers.
you that he's hungry?
Well, we have like set times to eat.
Yeah.
Um, and then if he does get hungry, he'll say like banana or orange or, something healthier.
Have you guys made a
Other
conscious choice to not do certain foods? Like, are you avoiding processed anything or sugars or like, did you guys make a conscious effort of that with your first?
Yes. So with our first, which we'll do with our second, like the first year, it's like no sugar, no salt. Because I'm like, why? They don't know.
Yeah.
Um, With our first, though, now that he's older, we'll run through Chick-fil-A, and of course, he wants an apple juice box and the fries. Like, okay, so that's not the greatest, but it's not the end of the world. But we don't stock the house with processed, like, definitely not candy. Um, like, I'll make muffins sometimes as, like, a sweet treat, or sometimes cookies, and we'll have those randomly. He loves a good ice cream, but we try to, like, it's like a treat every
Yeah.
once in a while. But we're not stocking the house with that stuff because then I know he's just gonna find it and he's gonna know. Do you know what's funny? I have, Nespresso, shout out to Nespresso. They gave us a little free box of chocolates with one of my
Oh, yeah.
orders. I am on carnivore, but I was just craving something sweet. So I had a little tiny square and I popped it in my mouth. I try to hide it from my oldest. And I'm like, okay, it's time to go change to go to bed. And he's like, I want chocolate. And I'm like, what do you, where'd you get that from? He's like, I can smell it. He smelled the chocolate on my breath. He called
That
me out.
little turkey.
I know. So I had to give him a piece because I'm like, well, crap. I was trying to hide it, not whatever.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
he's so smart. So every once in a while we do those type of things, but we just try to give him. We try to give him whole foods.
Yeah. I want to give him a shout out because my favorite story is that when I was there this last time, I always eat Mexican food when I'm in Texas.
Oh,
And I was eating something and it was chips and salsa. And he wanted a chip and I tried to just give him a plain chip and he specifically wanted the salsa. And I looked at you and I'm like, is this all right? Because it was spicy for me, who is also a baby. But you're like, yeah. And then, we just warned him, hey,
mm-hmm.
it's spicy. Homie just chomped it up, just
And
chomped it
kept
right
eating.
down. And I remember for a second he went, like he knew it was spicy and then just reached for his water and drank some. And then it was like, chip. I was like,
Bro, I even have a crazier story. When my family was in town, Kenny's parents, we went to this little marketplace that's new. We wanted to show them, and they got a pizza. And I tried a bite of it, and it was supposed to be meat lovers, but there was some kind of like chili oil on top of it.
oh,
That bitch was spicy. Like I was like, oh, I need a drink. Like, I almost need a Sprite. Like, I need something. I need some, not just water is gonna do it. And so he had a freak out, but then he kept eating it. I was shocked.
I just thought it was, I watched the dynamic and I thought it was really interesting because you didn't tell him you're not going to like that it's spicy. You just told
Hmm.
him, hey, it's spicy. And then I
Yep.
realized I've probably said that to kids before where you just prep them that they're
Yeah.
not going to want it instead of just telling them what it is. And then as long as you know it's not going to hurt them, just letting them experience what that means. I thought that was so interesting. And he's such not a picky eater. Then he wanted my, what's it called? My guacamole. And he was
Yeah.
just licking it off the chips. I don't know, dude. I was just really impressed. And didn't you also, like, you didn't do baby food mash
Mm-mm.
smush, right? You just smashed or ground shit up?
We just basically pureed stuff on our own. Like we never bought the bottles. Every once in a while we would buy the pouches, but then I would like make kind of like almost a smoothie and then just pour it in my own pouch.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was really nice because I knew what was going in it. But yeah, we just pureed our own stuff. And it's so easy when they're babies because literally just throw like two sweet potatoes in a thing, you know, cook them, mash them up, maybe stir in some peanut butter for a little bit of flavor, if as long as they don't have allergies, and that'll last you like 3, 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah,
So
didn't
much
you, like, you
easier.
had little freeze things you could just pop out?
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it was
And you
very
did that with
nice.
meat too, right? Like, you just ground up meat super, super fine. So he was eating little bits of real food all the time?
Yes, that was when you first hear about that, you're like, "What? Meat as a little baby?" But I did a lot of, like, shredded meat, like, slow cooked it and shredded it up really good, and then he would just pick that up and eat it. I also which I wanna do more of this time, is one time I made some bone broth and, like, mixed it in with some stuff, but, like, I've seen people just make bone broth and just, like, literally spoon it in their mouth. Cause what a good way to get some nutrients, and it's just gummy gelatinous
Mm-hmm.
mush. So,
Oh, when
yeah.
it's cold, you mean?
Oh, well, I would probably just like put it in the microwave for a couple seconds so it's like somewhat warm,
But it's
but
still
not
like,
not warm enough where it's like just oozing liquidy, but like a little bit of a texture to it.
ah, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
What did
But
you guys do with allergies? This is always my big question. What
yeah,
did you do with like peanut butter and honey and well, honey, I don't know
so
if that's an allergy, but
it's not an allergy from what I know, but you're supposed to wait till after they're 1, because of botulism, some kind of thing that's bad. I
okay.
don't know what it's called. Anyway, yes, you just introduce one thing at a time. You know, not like most people have allergies to avocados or potatoes or beans, but like once we had that kind of basis, you know, one day on a weekday, like where it would be easy for us to like go to the hospital if we needed to, we would give him like a little bit of watered down peanut butter. Cause like just straight peanut butter can be a choking hazard when they're that young because it's
Yeah.
so whatever. Or whatever. So it's just one thing a day and you just wait and see if there's any symptoms. And then like 3 days later you try it. There's like 10 top allergenic foods. And so you just like try one with some space in between and see if there's any reaction. And
Did you
luckily
do
he didn't have
shrimp?
any. That was the one that made me nervous. We gave him some shrimp and I could not tell if he had a slight rash. So I was a little paranoid about that one. But he's had it since and it hasn't been a problem. But it
Oh,
wasn't
okay.
one of those things where we were giving it to him a lot because I was a little nervous about the seafood stuff.
I wonder if you can just put iodine on their skin and see if it has a reaction.
Well, I don't know.
Because usually people that are allergic to shrimp, it's the iodine in the shrimp,
Oh, that's very interesting.
or at least for shellfish.
Yeah,
It's the
yeah.
iodine. I don't know, random thing in my head. What were the other ones that are big allergies?
So peanuts, shellfish. Oh, crap. I don't even remember at
I
this
mean,
point.
did you like, was gluten something you felt like you had to knock off the list or not really?
I honestly didn't think about it. Um, there is a really cool app for starting your food journey, and it's called Solid Starts.
Huh.
Highly recommend. I think there's probably a paid version, but the free version just goes through and you can search different foods. It can tell you at what age it's appropriate. They tell you how to prep it and cook it. So like um a carrot at is, 7 months should be cooked and soft and like on a finger size so they can and then later you can like chop it up where it's still soft and then later you can have it maybe more raw. That's just an example. I don't know if that was exactly accurate, but super cool app. I opened it a lot. And so it's called Solid Starts, which
That's
is such a
cool.
clever name. But yeah, I can't even remember what the other allergy foods are at this point, to be honest. I'll have to look it back up on the app before we do this again with our second.
Yeah, no, that's fascinating.
Yeah. But the other thing, oh, eggs,
Oh,
milk,
yeah.
eggs, nuts, soy, wheat. Didn't really think about the wheat thing. Kind of just went for that one. The other cool thing is our school that he goes to, they provide breakfast and lunch and a snack, and their breakfast and lunch, like their food is very nutritious, whole foods. That was one of the reasons why we picked this school. So that's really cool because it kind of set the foundation there. And so he's
Yeah.
kind of used to like breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, whatever. But um, we don't ever say like you have to finish all the food on your plate because that was the era that we grew up in, and I refuse to do that. And I just make it a point to say, okay, if you're done now and you get hungry later, you're coming back to this. You're not gonna get like XYZ, whatever you want later.
Yeah.
Or if it's like really late, it's like, okay, well then we're gonna go to bed. On the flip side of that too, I want him to like understand how you know, how food makes him feel. I've read that you're not supposed to label like this is a bad food or this is a healthy food. Like you shouldn't eat this because it's bad. It's like this is candy, and if you eat too much of it, you may not feel good. Or whatever the case is, right? So the other day he had like 3 bowls of yogurt. And when I say bowls, I mean they're like little
Yeah, like baby
ramekin
bowls.
things. But I'm like, "Bro, you just want more yogurt? Okay, whatever." So he eats all this yogurt and then he's jumping on his trampoline and he's like, "Mommy, my tummy hurts. I'm full. My tummy hurts." I'm like, "Okay, perfect. I'm so sorry. But this is the line. Now you figured out. I think you ate a little too much yogurt and now you feel really, really full. And then jumping up and down is probably making your tummy hurt. So maybe let's sit down for a second and then you can go back to jumping later." It was so funny because he like recognized it and he said it. No weird.
Was waiting for there to be like a major fart or something.
No, we were good for the rest of the night. He just stopped jumping on the trampoline.
Oh, that's so funny. What
So yeah.
do you still try to, okay, is there an age that people sit down for like family dinner? I can't imagine you could just all eat together with a toddler.
It's so hard. I want that so bad. It's not happening right now because we have a baby and a toddler and
Yeah.
he's hungry earlier than we are. I try to make the dinner earlier now, but it's like I'm usually holding the baby, possibly Kenny's still at work.
Yeah.
We're kind of all over the place, but I'm hoping when he gets around like 5,
I was
and
gonna
I
say
don't
more like
know,
school age, maybe.
like school, because I would love that. And we do that sometimes when my parents are here because I have more hands to help. And like when his parents are here, we'll sit down as a family. It's just wrangling everyone in to try to eat at the same time is a little difficult right now. But I think
Yeah.
also once our youngest is able to sit up in the high chair by himself and hold his head up,
Oh, yeah.
that'll be huge because we either need to like he either needs to be asleep, which sometimes the time doesn't work, or I have to hold him, or
That
Kenny
makes
has to hold
sense.
him. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that makes sense. Is
but
there anything that surprised you about entering toddler era eating?
honestly, just the variability.
Yeah. Like, what do you do on the
Like,
days that he doesn't want to eat?
I'm just like, "Are you good?" I'm just kidding. He'll have like we have this protein powder, it's plant-based protein powder, and I don't give him a full scoop, but like if he hasn't ate a lot for the day, I'll give him like a glass of milk with a fourth of a scoop just to give him something in his system.
Yeah.
Um, he's eating better now that he's almost 3, but I mean, as long as he's drinking water and he's looks like he's thriving, I'm not too worried about it because the next day he'll probably eat a lot more.
Yeah.
I don't really understand it.
What do
But
you
what
do
is
for
funny,
water? Like, I drink water nonstop. Do kids not need as much? Are their bodies smaller?
I feel like he drinks a ton of water because
Oh,
every time he's
really?
like, cold water, mom, I want water. Where's my water? Blah, 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 blah. And they drink
Okay.
a lot at daycare, like they fill it up. And we fill up quite a bit. And that's the one thing with spicy food. If we, he drinks so much water that we just have to be careful close to bedtime because
Uh,
he'll be through the diaper because he won't be able to make it the whole night. But some days he doesn't drink as much. We just try to keep an eye on it. And if I've noticed it's been a few hours since he's drank water, I will give it to him, but normally he's kinda like me where he kinda carries around a emotional support water bottle,
yeah.
so, like, he has it a lot. But the other thing before I forget, he has not ate any bananas for, like, months. And the other day, he was like, "I want a banana," or "Nana," or ho whatever. And so no, not even that. He didn't even say, "I want a banana." Kenny came home with 2 huge bunches of bananas before, like, our potential ice storm that we were supposed to have here in Texas, where we thought, like, everything
Uh,
was gonna shut down.
yeah.
And I'm like, "Damn, dude, that's a lot of bananas." Like, he hasn't ate them in forever, and in my head, I'm like, "Oh, I'm gonna have to make so much banana bread because, like, we're not gonna go through these bananas." My eldest ate 2 bananas a day until they were gone.
Did he poop
Damn
everywhere?
near damn near wanted 3 bananas, and I told him, "No." I would be like, "No, you've had too many." No, his bowels were fine, like, everything was fine and digestively. So, we go through 2 bunches of bananas very fast, and so I go back to the grocery store, and what do? I buy 2 more bunches of bananas. Tell me why that child has not ate one of those bananas. I'm like, "Why? Why?" So then he was all obsessed with apples. "Mom, I want apples, apples, apples. Can I have some apples? Apples, 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 apples." Well, thankfully, I've learned my lesson now, and I bought 1 apple from the store, and I'm so glad I did because it has been untouched. He took 1 bite, and then the slices have been in the fridge, and now I gotta throw them away.
That is so weird. Do you think some
I
of it's
know.
that they just start, like, trying to have autonomy over something?
I think so. It's just so silly.
So weird. Is there anything he's had that he just hated?
Um, not really, because, like, sometimes he'll absolutely not want broccoli, and then sometimes he'll eat them. It depends on how we cook them, but everything else, he usually has had one moment in time of enjoying them, but it's like it goes in waves. Like
Uh,
he'll want a burger, he'll want waffles, he'll want eggs, and then a couple weeks later we offer him the same thing. It's like, yeah, no. And then a couple weeks later he wants it again. So I don't know.
and you basically just feed him whatever you guys eat, right? I mean, I know sometimes you just have like random food that's just been made that you
Yeah.
give him, but you're not buying like kid food.
No, absolutely not. We have like staples that are easy, especially in the morning. We'll bake up a bunch of sausages, and we always have a thing of yogurt in there and usually some kind of fruit. And it's just like, well, here it is. Like, this is your options. Do you want it or not?
Yeah.
And that's another thing. It's like that's kind of where we have to go to, or else he'd just be like, Mom, I want this, I want that, I want, and it would just like it would snowball into whatever else.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want, oh, like Sundays, I've been doing this thing of like, do you want waffles or pancakes? We do like a little fun thing. And you can't have both and you can't have it every day, but tell me on Sundays, do you want waffles or pancakes? And that's kind of fun. So usually breakfast, I'm kind of just making for him because I don't eat breakfast at the same time he does, but it's just stuff that's like easy to throw in a bowl or like an orange to peel and just give it to him. So
Yeah.
yeah, a
So
little stinker though.
fascinating. I can't wait to
I
see what your
know.
second is like. I'm going to be curious if any of them are picky eaters or if like because I always wonder, is a picky eater born or are they made?
True, it's so true. I'm very curious myself. Uh, I feel like they're made, but we'll see.
I know.
And
Well,
hopefully I'm
that's
not
how I
making
feel,
one.
but I also don't want to assume that because then it sounds like I'm being judgy. So you guys are likely going to do the same thing with your second. And if you have a potential third, I'll just be curious to watch the progression.
I know. We'll see. They're big enough. They're healthy though, so at least there's that. I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, yeah. No, they don't look like they're hungry. Oh man. Well, thank you for letting me pester
Great.
you with my questions. And until next
I love
week,
it. I love you.
I
Bye.
love you. Bye.
I don't have my coffee mug.